Welcome to another episode of Solitaryism, and I'm Robert Bitto, your host. Today we're going to talk a little bit about your emotional state when you're interacting with other people. You've heard the phrase, be of good cheer. Now, where does that come from? That's a command, be of good cheer. Well, I'd say it comes out of recognizing that if you are outwardly happy, if you're outwardly of good cheer, then you will feel that way internally. Now, our baseline in solitaryism is not bitterness, okay? But you're really not interacting with anybody throughout your day unless it's transactional, whether it's your coworkers at work, a coach you're using, or the barista at the coffee shop. Now, if you go to the coffee shop, chat with the barista, smile, say hello. It makes you feel better, in addition to making the interaction pleasant. Imagine if you go into the coffee shop a grouch. You're not going to get the best service, and your outward demeanor is going to affect how you feel on the inside. Being alone and advocating solitaryism doesn't mean that we hate people or that we're misanthropes. We just don't want to get involved with what's out there, given the society the way that it is, and the fact that we really don't need people anymore. So there's no point in engaging with people in deep conversations, hanging out, extended sorts of relationships, or anything like that. Fine. Chat with the barista while she's making your coffee, whatever, then go sit down or leave the coffee shop. You really probably don't want to get involved with her. Getting involved with her is really not even something you're thinking about. So, yeah, be nice to everybody you meet. It makes you feel better. It puts a spring in your step, and it makes everybody around you act better towards you. It's the grease on the cogs of your daily life, your daily interactions. But you don't need to engage with someone providing you any service any deeper than just idle chit-chat. And keep it at that. You don't want to get sucked into somebody's dramatic, miserable life. You got things to do. You have goals to accomplish, and you don't need all of that. And one of the big elements of solitaryism is cutting out all of the nonsense that other people bring in your life. You don't have room for it. You don't want to spend your energy there. But solitaryism, being in your own solitude, is not a place for bitterness. You're not lonely. You've overcome loneliness. You've broken through that barrier. So there is no need for any sort of bad feelings. You're content with your life alone, and you're going about your life. And that's it. Yeah, so be of good cheer. There's no reason to be bitter. There's nothing you're missing out on, and you know that deep down. I mean, that's a foregone conclusion. You'll walk by restaurants or whatever. I did this in my neighborhood like 2 weekends ago. I took a walk around the neighborhood. There are lots of bars and restaurants, and people are laughing together and all that stuff. Now, it's not for you. It's not real, and so there's no point. You're happy by yourself, and you don't need to get drunk at a bar and spend all this money in restaurants with all these other people. You're okay. You're just fine. And walking by those restaurants and bars, I felt a great sense of security that I didn't even need that. I was observing my own feelings and my thoughts when I was looking at people and observing them and stuff. And I thought, I'm glad I'm not in there. I'm glad I'm not inside there. No matter how much that was maybe 15 years ago or so, that was something I so desperately wanted. No, I overcame that. There's no need for that. But the opposite of not wanting that is not bitterness. It's not what we hear about, the loneliness epidemic and depression. It's not either one or the other. So just remember, be conscious of your emotional state when you're out and about interacting with people. Be nice, be gregarious, be happy. compliment people, whatever. But end it right there. There's no need to take it further. You don't want to hear the barista's problems, and just grab your coffee and be on your way. And that's about all I wanted to say on this topic. I guess to sum it up, I would say, yeah, be nice to everybody you come across. And that's it. It's an extension of your own inner happiness. There's no need to treat people with any sort of bitterness unless they deserve it, of course. But yeah, you don't want to get wrapped up in that anyway. But that's all I had to say on this. Thank you once again for listening. And remember, be happy alone.